Alright, folks, God bless y'all. Welcome. So, yesterday we went into some laws from back in the day when, you know, when the Israelites were escaped out of Egypt with the Lord's help, were rescued by the Lord. I don't want to go into detail about what we went over yesterday, but no. So essentially, we're going over the offerings for the sanctuary, and it said, for the sanctuary, you must make the sanctuary with certain materials, with violet, purple, and scarlet linen, and goat hair, and ram skins, and oil, and gold and silver, and all that stuff. It also instructs how to make tabernacles, or not tabernacles, but altars for example, sacrificing the bread of the presence, and how to make linen. And it specifies in great detail how to make all of these things. And yeah. And the bronze altar made of wood and bronze. And we're going to continue with this, actually, because we start back at chapter 28, Garments of the Priests. So it's veils, curtains, altars, and dimensions for many of the objects in the sanctuary. So chapter 28, Garments of the Priests. Then bring forward yourself with brother Aaron and with your brother Aaron and his sons with him, from among the sons of Israel, to serve as priests to me. Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and Eleazar and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. And you shall make holy garments for Aaron your brother, for glory and for beauty. You shall speak to all the skillful people whom I have endowed with the spirit of wisdom, that they make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may serve as priest to me. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastpiece, an ephod, a robe, a tunic of checkered work, a turban, and a sash. They shall make holy garments for your brother Aaron, and let me move this. There we go. And his sons, so that he may serve as priests to me. They shall take the gold, the violet, the purple, and the scarlet material, and the fine linen. They shall also make the ephod of gold, the violet, purple, and scarlet material, and fine twisted linen, the work of the skilled embroiderer. It shall have 2 shoulder pieces joined to its 2 ends, so that it may be joined. The skillfully woven band of its overlay, which is on it, shall be like its workmanship, of the same material, of gold, of violet, and purple, and scarlet material, and the fine twisted linen. And you shall engrave 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of the sons of Israel. 6 of their names on the one stone, and the names on the remaining 6 on the other stone, according to their birth. As a jeweler engraves a signet, you shall engrave the 2 stones according to the names of the sons of Israel. You shall set them in filigree settings of gold, and you shall put the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, as stones of memorial for the sons of Israel. And Aaron shall carry their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders, as a memorial. And you shall make 2 filigree settings of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold. You shall make them of twisted cordwork, and you shall put the corded chains on the filigree settings. You shall make a breastpiece of judgment, the work of a skilled embroiderer. Like the work of the ephod you shall make it, of gold, of violet, purple, and scarlet material, and a fine twisted linen you shall make it. It shall be square and folded double, a span in length and a span in width, and you shall mount on it 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a row of ruby, topaz, and emerald, and the second row a turquoise, a sapphire, and a diamond, and the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst, and the fourth row a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold filigree. The stones shall be engraved according to the names of the sons of Israel, 12 according to their names. They shall be like the engravings of a signet, each according to his name for the 12 tribes. You shall also make on the breastpiece twisted chains of cord work in pure gold. And you shall make on the breastpiece 2 rings of gold. And you shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastpiece. And you shall put the 2 cords of gold on the 2 rings at the ends of the breastpiece. You shall put the other 2 ends of the 2 cords on the 2 filigree settings and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod at the front of it. And you shall make 2 rings of gold and place them on the 2 ends of the breastpiece on the edge of it, which is toward the inner side of the ephod. And you shall make 2 rings of gold and put them on the bottom of the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod, on the front of it, close to the place where it was joined, above the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastpiece by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a violet cord, so that it will be on the skillfully woven band of the ephod, and that the breastpiece will not come loose from the ephod. So Aaron shall carry the names of the sons of Israel in the breastpiece of judgment over his heart when he enters the holy place. Okay. Sorry. What else? So Aaron shall carry the names of the sons of Israel in the breastpiece. Okay. Of judgment over his heart when he enters the holy place, as a memorial before the Lord continually. And you shall put in the breastpiece of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, the Urim and the Thummim, or whatever. And they shall be over Aaron's heart when he goes into before the Lord. And Aaron shall carry the judgment of the sons of Israel over his heart before the Lord continually. You shall make the robe of the ephod of all of violet. There shall be an opening at its top in the middle of it. Around its opening there shall be a binding of woven work, like the opening of a coat of mail, so that it will not be torn. You shall make on its hem pomegranates of violet, purple, and scarlet material all around on its hem, and bells of gold between them all around. A golden bell and pomegranate, a golden bell and pomegranate, all around on the hem of the robe. It shall be on Aaron when he ministers, and its sound shall be heard when he enters and leaves the holy place before the Lord, so that he will not die. You shall also make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it, like the engravings of a signet, holy to the Lord. You shall fasten it on a violet cord, and it shall be on the turban. It shall be at the front of the turban. It shall be on Aaron's forehead, and Aaron shall take away the guilt of the holy things which the sons of Israel consecrate, regarding all their holy gifts. And it shall always be on his forehead, so that they may be accepted before the Lord. And you shall you shall weave the tunic of checkered work of fine linen, and shall make a turban of fine linen, and you shall make a sash, the work of a weaver. For Aaron's sons you shall also make tunics. You shall also make sashes for them, and you shall make caps for them for glory and for beauty. Then you shall put them on Aaron your brother and on his sons with him, and you shall anoint them and ordain them and consecrate them so that they may serve me as priests. You shall all make for them linen undergarments to cover their bare flesh. They shall reach from the waist even to the thighs, and they shall be on Aaron and on his sons when they enter the tent of meeting, or when they approach the altar and to minister in the holy place, so that they do not incur guilt and die. It shall be a statute forever to him and to his descendants after him. Okay, so chapter 28, right? Yeah, garments of the priests. It essentially teaches the Israelites how to make clothes. Like, I'm not sure why, but it almost seems as if they don't know how to make clothes. I don't know why. It's a rather peculiar thing, but it is what it is. But it is a guide on how to make robes and breastpiece and turbans and such for the priests to give service and worship the Lord. Right? So, yeah. All right. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna hold off on. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Let's go through it. Chapter 29, Consecration of the Priests. Now this is what you shall do to them to consecrate them to serve as priests to me. Take 1 bull and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread and unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wafers spread with oil. You shall make them of fine wheat flour, and shall put them in 1 basket, and present them in the basket along with the bull and the 2 rams. Then you shall bring Aaron and his sons to the doorway of the tent of meeting, and wash them with water. And you shall take the garments and put on Aaron the tunic and the robe of the ephod, and the ephod and the breastpiece, and wrap his waist with the skillfully woven band of the ephod. And you shall set the turban on his head, and put the holy crown on the turban. And you shall take the anointing oil, and put it on his head, and anoint him. And you shall also bring his sons, and put tunics on them. And you shall wrap their waists with sashes, Aaron and his sons, and fit caps on them. And you shall have the priesthood by a permanent statute. So you shall ordain Aaron and his sons. So I guess this is the ritual. Essentially, there's 1 bull, 2 rams, which are sacrificed, along with unleavened bread, cakes, and wafers with oil. And then they are sacrificed so that, and then the priests are consecrated by being clothed as well. So yeah, there's that. Apart from that, nothing much to report. Let's go on with the sacrifices. Then you shall bring the bull in the front of the tent of meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the bull. And you shall slaughter the bull before the Lord at the door of the tent of meeting. Then you shall take some of the blood of the bull and put it on the horns of the altar with your finger. And you shall pour all the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. And you shall take all the fat that covers the entrails, and the lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and offer them up in smoke on the altar. But the flesh of the bull, and its hide, and its refuse, you shall burn with fire outside the camp. It is a sin offering. You shall also take the 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall slaughter the ram, and take its blood, and sprinkle it on the altar. And you shall cut the ram into pieces, and wash its entrails and its legs, and put them with its pieces and its head. And you shall offer up in smoke the whole ram on the altar. It is a burnt offering to the Lord. It is a soothing aroma, an offering of fire, or by fire, to the Lord. Then you shall take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on the head of the ram. And you shall slaughter the ram, and take some of its blood, and put it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear, and on the lobes of his sons' right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. And sprinkle the rest of the blood around the altar, on the altar. Then you shall take some of the blood that is on the altar, and sprinkle and some of its the anointing oil, and sprinkle it on Aaron and on his garments, and on his sons and on his sons' garments with him. So he and his garments shall be consecrated, as well as his sons and his sons' garments with him. You shall also take the fat from the ram, and the fat tail, and the fat that covers the entrails, and the lobe of the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, and the right thigh. For it is a ram of ordination, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of bread mixed with oil, and 1 wafer from the basket of unleavened bread, which is set before the Lord. And you shall put all these in the hands of Aaron, and in the hands of his sons, and shall wave them as a wave offering before the Lord. Then you shall take them from their hands, and offer them up in smoke on the altar, on the burnt offering, for a soothing aroma before the Lord. It is an offering by fire to the Lord. Then you shall take the breast of Aaron's ram of ordination, and wave it as a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be your portion. You shall consecrate the breast of the wave offering, and the thigh of the contribution, which was waved, and which was offered from the ram of ordination, from the one which was for Aaron, and from the one which was for his sons. It shall be for Aaron and his sons as their portion forever from the sons of Israel. For it is a contribution, and it shall be a contribution from the sons of Israel, from the sacrifices of their peace offerings, their contribution to the Lord. The holy garments of Aaron shall be for his sons after him, so that they may be anointed and ordained in them. For 7 days one of his sons who is priest in his place shall put them on when he enters the tent of meeting to minister in the holy place. Okay. It goes into detail the sacrifices, slaying the bull and the rams, and taking with the finger the liver, the lobe of liver, and the fat, and offering them up in smoke and burning for the Lord. It makes no sense nowadays, but back then that's what you did. You offered burnt offerings and more offerings for the Lord, to cleanse them from sin and to ordain them as priests. So it's the sacrifices there. Sacrifice bull, rams, 2 rams, and burn them up, and food of the priest. Now you shall take the ram of ordination, and boil its flesh in a holy place. Then Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in a basket at the doorway of the tent of the meeting. So they shall eat those things by which atonement was made at their ordination and consecration. But a layman shall not eat them, because they are holy. And if any of the flesh of ordination, or if any of the bread remains until morning, then you shall burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. So you shall do for Aaron and for his sons, according to all that I have commanded you. You shall ordain him for 7 days. Each day you shall offer a bull as a sin offering for an atonement. And you shall purify the altar when you make atonement for it. And you shall anoint it to consecrate it. For 7 days you shall make atonement for the altar and consecrate it. Then the altar shall be most holy, and whatever touches the altar shall be holy. Now this is what you shall offer on the altar: 2 one-year-old lambs each day, continuously. The one lamb you shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb you shall offer at twilight. And there shall be 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with 1/4 of a hin of beaten oil, and 1/4 of a hin of wine for a drink offering with one lamb. The other lamb you shall offer at twilight, and shall offer it with the same grain offering and the same drink offering as in the morning, for a soothing aroma, an offering by fire to the Lord. It shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the doorway of the tent of meeting before the Lord, where I'll meet with you to speak to you there. I will meet there with the sons of Israel, and it shall be consecrated by my glory. I will consecrate the tent of meeting and the altar. I will also consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve as priests to me, and I will dwell among the sons of Israel and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, so that I might dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. The word of the Lord. Praise be to God. So, for the food of the priests, they'll boil the flesh of a ram of ordination, and that's what they'll eat. And if anything remains, burn it. And what else? Yeah. It also says to offer a bull as a sin offering for each 7 days, and then continuously they will gather 2 one-year-old lambs to be offered, one in the morning and one at twilight each day, and fine flour mixed with beaten oil and wine. And with the same thing, I have no idea how this has anything to do with consecration, but hey, what the Lord says, I will trust, and that's it. I don't need to go into details into why. Details don't matter whenever you have Jesus Christ at your hand. I know I said that. I know I'm a guilty person for being a hypocrite, but it's true. Jesus Christ has saved us from all of these things. But I also want to say, let's go back. Then the altar shall be the most holy, and whatever touches the altar shall be holy. So the altar is representative of Jesus, believe it or not. Whatever touches the altar is holy. And Jesus cleansed by touching people and doing these things. And it parallels with Jesus, believe it or not. Because Jesus cured people from their diseases by laying his hands on them like this. He cleansed lepers. He cast out demons, devils, all these things. And yeah, just something I bring up. See, even in these things, you can find references to Jesus, even if they're not per se explicit per se. So there you go. But yeah, that was the food for the priests. So to recap, 26. Hold on. Not 26. 28. Basically, God tells them how to make the clothes and gear for the priests, and the robes and the headwear. And 29 goes into how to consecrate the priests with sacrifices and feeding them with ram, I think. Yeah. And offering for sins and for Thanksgiving. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue with chapter 30, I think. But yeah, that is Exodus so far. Now go in peace and seek the love of the Lord.